The Zacks Rank, value, momentum, growth, and income all factor into Zacks Rank buys.
More now on how to find value in stocks with our value stock strategist, Tracey Ryniec, who's been doing a little education here of late.
Yeah.
Today we're going to talk about finding value stocks using the price-to-book ratio.
That's right. It's different than what we talked about before with the PE. Most value investors use PE. That's kind of where they start off. But then there's these other metrics you can use, like price to book, which is just the price over the book value, basically. And you know, you have to keep an open mind on these things because you want to use other fundamentals than just the PE. And this is a good way to do it. You do have to be careful kind of if you're only employing the price to book, because it can get skewed with companies that have a lot of intellectual property, the way that it's measured. So if, for instance, you know, Apple, it has a very cheap PE, it's under 10 right now, but its price to book is much higher, almost 5, because it doesn't have a lot of factories, it has much more intellectual property, so you have to kind of watch out with certain types of companies when using this metric. But as I always say, you shouldn't only use like one metric, but we're going to use price to book here, along with obviously the Zacks Rank, which gives us a little bit of an edge there because we're going to look at the estimates.
Right.
But how do you
How does it work?
Yeah, like, you know, a lot of people talk about price to book. Obviously, you can find it on any financial site, and that's kind of what I always recommend. Like, don't figure it out yourself. All these things are available. You can just find the price to book, plug it into Google even. That's how I've searched for it sometimes. And then you want it to be lower, just like the PE. The lower the better. You want it to be lower. If you can get it under 1, that would be very cheap. I would kind of be looking at it if I did see it under 1. Usually I see it between 1 and 3, and I look at 3 and under normally, but the lower the better. That's pretty obvious in these kinds of, you know, as us value investors go. And then I plugged it in. And
when you plugged in price to book and the Zacks Rank, you came up with Carnival Corporation.
Right. I wanted to get a 1 or a 2, which are the buy or the strong buys, and I found Carnival. I actually found over 500 stocks. So if you're just using price to book a low with it under 3, you're going to get pretty many, which is why you probably need to deploy something else. But I just, again, used the price to book, found Carnival. It has the price to book of only 1.29, basically 1.3, so that's very low. And it has other good value metrics as well, like a PE of 15, a little bit over 15. So that would be kind of in my range for the PE too, which I like. You know, it's a 2, so they just reported in December, and good things are going on with the cruise industry. Have you ever been on a cruise?
I have not.
Me neither. I talk about them all the time, and I always want to go, at least on maybe like a river cruise or something, but Carnival is mainly the big boats.
I have courtesy of the Travel Channel. I'll
okay,
I'll
so
qualify that,
you've done it through another way.
Right.
That's not a bad way. But, you know, the bigger cruise ships are really in right now, and they keep building bigger ones. And Carnival owns a whole bunch of the lines that we all know, like Holland, Seabourn, Princess Cruise, which is the Love Boat. And obviously Carnival itself. They're the largest cruise liner in the world with 99 ships. They're going to launch 4 more new ships this year. These were already known, so this is like not new news, but 4 new ones are coming online, and they have 17 on order through 2020. And these are not small items. These are those huge ones that, you know, have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 passengers. So it's a big investment in the business, but cruise lines, like everything else, airplanes and all these other forms of transportation and travel are, you know, having to get more technology driven. And, you know, people, I mean, it used to be actually still on some ships, I know you can't get good Wi-Fi. I mean, oh my gosh, no. So they have to be able to have all these kind of conveniences that people are used to now, and that means the newer, more modern ships. Now, I put up the estimates here because you can see after they just reported, it was a very good quarter. They actually see bookings going out into 2016 for the first 3 quarters much stronger than last year because in the cruise business, you tend to book well ahead of time. They start having sales, and actually January is one of the bigger months for putting the cruises on sale for the rest of the year. But they can already start to tell come September, October with the pre-bookings, and they were very strong, stronger than a year ago. I have a feeling that has to do with the lower, gasoline prices. The job market is good. People want to travel, and they have the extra money. So cruise lines are benefiting. Plus, fuel costs have gone down. That's helpful to them. They're getting a little bit hurt on currency exchange, so that's a little bit, countering the fuel. But as long as they got these, good fundamentals going on, it looks good for them. Estimates are going up. They're supposed to grow earnings this year by 23%. That's real strong. Combined with that low PE, they're seeing a PEG ratio, which is another kind of way to value the fundamentals, is under 1, and so I like that too. The chart, they've been doing real well, kind of choppy, so not as straight up as many of the charts we've seen, but they keep hitting new highs, so you do have to wonder, I get asked this a lot, well, if it's hitting new highs, how can it be a value? But the value really is in these fundamentals, and it's growing its earnings.
Good dividend.
Yep, we got a dividend a little bit over 2%.
Yeah.
So the story is real good with the cruises here, and I like them as value stocks. So it's not too late to get into some of these, more hot areas.
I'm actually waiting for my kids to get together and pay for one for me. I think I've got a little bit of a wait.
I was going to
Tracy.
say it might be a while. Maybe they'll watch this and get a little hint there.
Maybe, yes. I'll direct them to it. Thank you. Do you own this?
I do not.
All right. Check out more stock information on our website, Zacks.com. Other articles written by Tracey, for one. Matter of fact, some of those articles are linked to her new podcast called Market Edge. So you'll want to search out for all of the articles on value stocks and other stuff that Tracey writes about. All linkable, if that's a word, right off the homepage, Zacks.com. Meantime, with Tracey, I'm Terry Ruffalo.